Hello everyone! If you want to know how I got this simple kawaii makeup for dark skin, stay tuned. And ta-da! Here is the before. As you guys can tell, I was a little camera shy. Haven't shown you guys my bare face before, but here we are. I don't have any makeup on at this point. I did do my morning skincare routine though. All right, let's get started. So first things first, I always do my brows. I highly suggest for those of you who have dark hair, either dark brown or black, get a dark brown pencil. Do not, I repeat, do not use a black pencil for your brows. And if you have blonde or red hair, use a regular medium brown. I'm not really filling in just yet. I'm more so defining the shape that I like. And I tend to like really rectangular, sharp looking brows, but you can also do more rounded brows. Next, I use my little e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and there are two sides. I use the thin pointy side, and I use that to fill in the color. As you can tell, I've used it a lot. So start from the front and just stroke the way back. And there's no rush. Feel free to take your time and take a break, look in the mirror, see what you want to change, and then change it. And when you're done, you can continue on to the concealer. I use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And as you can tell, I have used this to death. Oh my goodness. But alas, I did get some. So if you add a little bit too much, feel free to dab some on the other brow, just so you're not overdoing it. You want this to be more light than thick. And just start right at the very bottom of where the eyebrow pencil ends, and then make a nice neat line down the length of your eyebrow. I also saw this on the internet, but I like to connect the concealer underneath just to make sure that they're proportional. You don't want to be looking like that one emoji. Insert emoji here. You don't want to be looking like that with uneven brows. I will highlight the top of the brow as well, just to define it up there too. And this is what it's looking like so far. Give you guys a little panoramic. And when it's time to blend everything out, you're gonna wanna raise your eyebrows like, say what? Kinda. That's the best way you can define it. Raise your eyebrows like you're surprised and then blend so that there are no more harsh lines. You want to get rid of any signs of obvious demarcation, and it's okay if you blend it onto your forehead and down your eyelid and even down your nose a little bit. Just make sure that there are no harsh lines, that it's a seamless ombre into the concealer from your skin. I also fill in between the brows and a little bit down my nose. What was I listening to? Anyway, back to our usually scheduled program. I do spend quite a bit of time on my brows, mainly because they are one of the big defining features of my face. I like to make sure that they're always really crisp and neat. And here we have our final product, nice and clean, no harsh lines of demarcation. So let's go to the next. I use a Nars foundation in the color Medium Dark 4, also known as Macao. Usually I'll apply it straight from the nozzle to my face, going around the circumference of my face. And around my forehead. And I was feeling like Simba going across my forehead like this. Next, I add 2 drops to the bottom of each eye, and of course, I gotta make it dramatic. You know, it wouldn't be a chocolate geisha video if I didn't bring the theatrics, am I right? Alright, and my choice of blending tool is a cosmetic wedge. It's okay to use your fingers or a blending brush, whatever you'd like. Make sure to moisten your tool of choice before using it to blend. Get in those nooks and crannies. You're going to want to blend it out really evenly. And it's okay if you can't get it all the way to blend seamlessly into your hairline. We'll handle that later. Next, with the help of my powder brush and some translucent powder, I'm going to be gently patting my face to fill in the gaps and help blend my foundation into my hairline. You're really going to want to take your time on this step. No one wants to look like they're wearing a mask, right? And here is our next finished product. So we're getting closer and closer. As you can tell, it's really smooth, it looks seamless, no gaps to be seen. Okay, next I'm using the Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadows palette. So first, use a color that's either your skin color or slightly lighter to the tops of your eyelids. Just to your eyelids though, make sure not to go towards your brows. This is going to add a nice smooth base. Next, you're going to choose a slightly darker tone. It can be more of a red, it can be more purple, whatever you'd like. Just make sure it's not too dark, just slightly darker. We'll be adding this color directly above the eyelid, just like so. So usually I like to place the eyeshadow and then blend it out. So as you can see, I'm doing it on both eyes, and then I'll blend afterwards. And blend like so. Make sure to add little bits of color at a time. You don't need to go all in immediately. Just take your time, and if you want it to be more pigmented, feel free to go back and dabble into the color a little bit more. And here's the finished product. Next, we are going to be applying our liquid liner, and what I like to do first is flatten down my lashes because they are quite curly. And right on cue, I make a mistake. If you end up accidentally smudging your liquid eyeliner, make sure to get it off while it's wet because once it dries, it hardens and it's that much harder to get off. When it comes to the application, I like to follow the natural line of my eye. You can make the line as thick or as thin as you want. I usually go for slightly thinner to normal. And as you can see, adding the eyeliner with the eyeshadow does enlarge the eyes even more. And as you can see, I kind of started running out of the eyeliner. If that happens, feel free to swirl it around inside the container and try and get more onto it. Feel free to give it a little wing if you like. Not necessary though. And this is what it's looking like in the end. And we close the bottle and we throw it into the abyss. So done with this step. Okay, next, let's continue on. It does look really good though, doesn't it? Now it is time for the contour. If you have a designated contour color, feel free to use that. I like to go back into my palette and mix the dark shade that I used for my eyeshadow, as well as another shade that looks close to my skin color to get a more unique final product. So I like to make this little kissy duck face to bring out my cheekbones more so that you can see where your face is hollowed out and use that as a guide. Make sure to get your forehead too. As a general rule of thumb, try and make a 3 on each side of your face, going from your forehead to your cheeks and down your chin. I'll also take that same shade and do the sides of my nose. Not too much though, less is more. And the translucent powder makes its appearance. So here is my powder that I use from Nye. And as you can see, my makeup time doubles as a jam session, especially when I'm jamming to the oldies.
No time, ain't no time to stay outdoors and food.
So I'll add some to my forehead, chin, and to both of my cheeks, and it really helps soften my look and also mattify it a bit. Next, we are going to be adding blush, and this is from the company Tarte in the shade Fanciful. I apply them to the apples of my cheeks and spread up. I decided afterwards that I wanted to add a little wing to my eyeliner, so here I'm doing that. Next, we move on to mascara, so feel free to use whatever one you have, and I think it's impossible to apply without making some kind of crazy face. Definitely making interesting faces, but the end justifies the means.
I was starting to think that wishing on stars was just for babies and crazy people.
Make sure to get the bottom lashes too, and be very gentle so that it doesn't smear. I think it's easier to apply if you use a side-to-side motion. After this step, you can also add fake lashes if you'd like, but it's not necessary. I decided to stop here. Next, let's continue on. I add a little bit of highlight to the bridge of my nose. And also on my brow bone. To the bow of my lip and to my chin. I'll also add some to my forehead in kind of a Wi-Fi symbol, so thinner at the bottom and then more spread out as we get closer to the hairline. There is no perfect way to apply highlight. Make sure to research your face shape and go based on that. Last but not least, we use lipstick. If you have lip liner, feel free to add that. I'll be adding just lipstick today. There are definitely ways to change the shape of your lip by the way you apply your lipstick, but I think that simple is best, so just follow the natural shape of your lip. Feel free to add finishing spray if you so desire, but if not, you are done. So here is our simple kawaii makeup for dark skin. Not too bold, not too light, just right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you like this video, then like it. And if you want to see more, then hit subscribe and become part of the YouTube fam. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!